Hi YouTube. I hope everybody's doing well. I got to my messages earlier than a month, so um, I'm sure some of you noticed I answered you. So had some time this morning, and it was really odd for me. I woke up hungry, and I don't usually do that, but we put up the one whole rest of one side of that chicken house, or chicken kitty house, and then made a door and hung the door, and just the measurements because the roof is at an angle. It takes time, and it was a little chilly out, so when I came in I was pretty shot, to tell you the truth. One of my favorite things, telling people the truth. um, I was uh, a little disgusted today. I was heard that this people are saying that because of the correlation between adrenochrome and acid, that they'd like to try some. And do they forget that usually it's children that are scared to death before they take the adrenochrome out of their endo gland in their brain? Yeah, it's like sick, you know. And then I started wondering the other day, I wonder how many people would take something like that just to remain, not just to get high, but to never wrinkle or whatever the case may be. I wonder how many people, if they were asked, no matter how this drug came about or what they had to do to get it, um, how many people would actually take it if it was available to them, you know? That's a good question, isn't it? You know? I know some people, I bet they would. They're that vain. Their looks are more important to them than human beings' lives, or animal lives for that matter. It's like Fauci. They said, well, uh, that it wasn't true, that he wasn't experimenting on rhesus monkeys, and they would um, give the monkeys acid and then show them pictures of like giant spiders and that type of thing to scare the living daylights out of them. They said that wasn't true. Well, I wasn't there. I passed around a post. So I can't say, and neither can the fact checkers, because none of us were there. But they did get caught in the Wuhan lab, which Fauci did um, finance, uh, doing experiments on dogs. But first, they would cut their tongue out of their mouth so they couldn't yell, and then they'd tie them down and secure them and do experiments on them while sand fleas and flies and things like that were biting on them. That's true. So, yeah. Um, Also, I had, in the last couple days, a couple people unsub from me. I guess the truth hurts, or they think that I'm full of it, that what? I wasn't adopted by Masons. Not only was I adopted by Masons, the legality of being a ward of the state, born an orphan, and then I was given to one set of them for 2 weeks while they abused me, and then they brought me back, and I was readopted into another Masonic family. So these things, that's the legal way to child traffic, you know. So if somebody thinks that what I'm saying isn't true, well, I wouldn't wish for you to have to go through it, but maybe you would have to believe what I'm saying. But this is another extension of what's going on in the world as far as people being narcissistic, and the techniques that are used are so similar. I mean, it's mind-boggling that, well, we know then that it's Satan driven because the techniques that are used are similar. And then I would have to ask people, don't you believe in spirits? If you don't believe in spirits, a good one or a bad one or several or whatever, then I guess there's no sense somebody like that even listening to me anyway, because well, I guess I would chalk it down to they probably don't have God in their heart and could give a shit less. But the point is that children are being conditioned right now in this world to accept far more than what we accepted when we were young. We were conditioned to lack in our morals as far as uh, free love generation back from like my parents' generation, which I did eventually meet my mother and talk to my real father and siblings and whatnot. But my point being is going back to found out that my birth father was also a Mason. Now that's a little, and he, well, raped my mother, who was still not of age when she got pregnant with me and had to give me up. So, um, and this is all true. But yeah, uh, yeah, he was an insurance salesman, my dad, or owned an insurance agency, you know. And I was talking to him for a while until he called me babe, and it might have been the most innocent thing in the whole world, but I was done with him at that moment because nobody calls me babe. Hell, Doug hardly even calls me babe. And you know what? Or baby. It's a little like I haven't been a baby for quite some time. Isn't it odd? That LSD, we all know it's lethargic dioxide something. I guess I can't remember what they stand for, but I made a new one for Doug the other day. It's called um, Lucifer, Satan, and Doug. That's what LSD stands for. Doug had a saying years ago. He doesn't say it much anymore because of the ignorance of the whole thing. But he said he never trusts anybody that didn't do any acid. It's like, how brain dead is that? I told him maybe you needed something like that, but I didn't, you know? So, well, anyway, it's a little odd. But yeah, I am trying to reach people that have been abused like that and talk to them. It's like, tell me what happened to you. I want to know. It might have been a parent, it might have been a teacher, it might have been just a bad look or whatever it may have been. We've all come in contact with the narcissistic mindset, which is demonic. There's no two ways about it. There's no other way to describe it. I asked somebody today, I asked him if he'd be willing to talk about his story if I did like a live stream and like a telephone call and had him on as a guest, if he would be willing to tell his story to the world. And I have another friend that was raised in a Masonic home, only he wasn't adopted. He was their blood, and he's out there trying to get the information out as best as he can for everybody. His name's J.E., just the large capital letters. And he puts out some really good information. Um, and he is a Christian minded man and heart. And he is thoroughly disgusted with the bloodline that raised him, and he wasn't going to become a Mason like his father and grandfather and those type of people. I have another friend that is a Mason that doesn't even like the Masons, but he's more of a knight. He's an honorable person trying to help people and telling people the agendas. And he's been on YouTube, I think, for 12 years now. That's the Monograph channel. Stephen Guest, I believe, is his name, or Guys. I might be pronouncing his last name wrong. I don't know if you watch me, Monty, but sorry for flubbering your name up there. But yeah, he did have a live stream yesterday and earlier today, but I didn't catch the one yesterday enough to see what he was saying, and haven't watched the one today yet. So, and don't know if I'm going to it. It all depends on um, what my interests, where my interests go today, you know. And right now I'm watching Israel News Live, and the biblical agendas that he's talking about that are in the Bible. I'm way leery of him because of his wife's bloodline, and it's the female bloodline that carries the Luciferian blood. That's was their way of hiding within society, just like the queen over in England is the monarch and not the male. Um, that's the way they kept their royal bloodline going, where they could have many children or marry and remarry. They change their names. Brothers and sisters and cousins would come over to America and change their names and marry. Um, it's like Trump and his mother being related to the Rockefellers. I do believe it is closely related to what was it now? Well, you know, they're all like there's about the largest separation from any of them. I do believe is like 5 or 6 generations, but it could be even closer and is closer. Like Ilya Omar, state senator of Minnesota, was married to her brother. Um, I'm not sure which Middle Eastern country she was from. Um, she's Muslim, I do believe. Um, but they came over here, and he changed his name and they remarried. She's literally married to her brother. That's gross. I don't care. Anyway, you look at it. I have natural brothers. I have 4 of them, but one from my mom, and 3 of them from my dad's family, and 2 sisters from my dad's family, and 3 sisters from my mom's. So I've got quite a bit of siblings out there, but um, even my adopted brother, that's gross. Just the thought of that. And yeah, he came on to me too, talked about a pervert. You know what he said to me when I was 18? We were living together because I had come back from Montana after my first separation. And he said to me, you know, we're really not related, you know. And I'm like, and I knew what he was getting at. And that broke my heart. It's like, that is so disgusting. It's beyond words, you know. And the things that him and my father and my mother, all adopted people, would do to me. I mean, um, you know, I thought the perverse bullshit would end when I became an adult, but then it just got worse in that respect. It's like the older I got, the darker things became in my life around those people. So yeah. But I'd be really interested in talking to other people that have been through, you know, horrible things like that and find out what their connections were to any of these associations or groups, or it could have been a church, could be political. Um, you know, uh, they do a lot of weird things out in this world. People do, you know. Hell, you know what's really abusive is I've seen people like totally ignore their children. That's some damn it abuse right there. Just that alone. Or even a parent being really critical of their child. You know, they can make all the excuses they want to make, but there's no excuse for these things. And even if it happened to them when they were young, or that's the way the family was like that, whatever what issue they had that they're bringing on into the next generation as an adult, even as a child, we if we have a conscience, we're telling ourselves something wrong here. I don't want to grow up to be like this, you know? And so there my nose goes itching again, and watch YouTube will put that on. Like I was showing the size of a teddy bear. I sewed its leg, and it made it look like I was making the 666 sign. And I was itching my nose, and it made it look like um I was picking my nose. It's like, oh, good God, people. And I could edit it out and I could make it all, but I let them pick it. And they might even wait till and they have to have picked that because it's not at the beginning. So it's like, it is kind of funny. And I do it like I do it like a video roulette. What are they going to do to me today? You know, it's kind of comical. So when you see that, just keep that in mind. I could edit it out, but don't. You know, funny, huh? Yeah. And I could learn how to edit. I mean, the numbers are right there. You can just take out a few seconds and carry on with your conversation, and that type of thing. But I decided when I first started doing this, I'm going all natural with my language and my persona. Here I am. This is me. Nothing fake about it. And that is why I don't get a lot of views, because if I had, even I wouldn't even have to show myself, and I can make some videos that people would probably watch a lot more if I had some like catchy intro song and some flashy kind of graphics and that type of thing. Which I went to school for software. I'm fully capable of doing any of that, and decided not to. And because I do like to see what people really care about and who would follow me just for being me, you know. So, but that's a kind of an important thing too when you're getting to know people in the world. You get to know the real them, or don't you? You know, like if you're listening to a very, very large channel, how did they get that large and why? You know, some have been accused of buying their own subscribers. Um, that there used to be a program where you could buy like 5,000 subs or whatever. That's ridiculous. I want to see who cares and who doesn't. Which I I think everybody would really want to know, hey, do we really like you? Or do we just like your intro song and your graphics, or your Illuminati magic that you can put out there to lure people in. So, yeah, that's what they do anyway. But yeah, going back to Israel News Live, that is one reason, because of his wife, because I've listened to her talk, and I love people So it has nothing to do with who she is as well. I guess no, I can't say that. Yes, has everything to do with who she is as a person. Um, is she hateful? Not towards the people she loves, I'm sure, but towards people I would probably protect, I might have an issue in that area with her, is all I'm saying. That type of thing, like if she's a danger to the children of God, the true children of God, yeah, I got an issue with her, and that's why. So, and these satanic are not going to stop. They've been bred to do this, and they love every second of what they're doing, you know. So, anyway. Oh, we have kind of a gloomy day today. Got a little bit of rain last night. I was out today a couple of times, but oh, I filled up my kitty's crunchies, and um, then I had some bagels from the freezer and put a couple eggs and some um, leftover cheese and some milk in there and made them like some gruel or whatever. Some stuff for them that they enjoyed. Just kind of to fatten them up because I had taken egg and cheese and a sausage patty and put it on toast for Doug and I and made us each a sandwich this morning. Like I was saying, I woke up hungry, which I usually don't even wake up hungry. I don't usually get hungry until even midnight sometimes. 10 o'clock, midnight, 8, 9, 10 to midnight, somewhere up in that area. So, and I haven't been sleeping good because of the damp weather. So that could be a big part of it too. Not sleeping good for a couple days, that'll do it to you. If you have aches and pains because of the weather. So they did a study, I think it was Norway or Sweden, I can't remember which one. They did a study and said that from what they could tell, people with arthritis or osteoarthritis, like I have, that they don't have pains when the weather, that's fictitious. That is not true at all. I know better because when it's damp and cold out, I hurt. I had a dog with a hip degenerative hip displacement disease, and he was a really beautiful Irish setter named Dandy. And when it got cold out and things like that, I used to have to carry my 90-pound dog outside, stand him up and rub his hips and get him going so he could get going. And the same with any old animal, you know what I mean. They they have they do feel the cold in their bones. So because the circulation isn't like there, you know, like it should be, because the nerve endings get damaged, and then it's actually the nerve endings from the swelling that hurts with the weather, with the cold weather. It's just like anybody. You don't even have to be old, but if you go out and cold or heat is really hard on our systems. You can go out, like, I don't know if you know this, but if you sit on concrete or metal, especially in women, you can end up having urinary tract issues and kidney problems. You can get a cold in your kidneys from sitting on cold stuff. And that's true. So I don't know why they put that report out. Maybe for people that have ailments like that, because there's more people in the baby boomer age group that would need medical care. But in medical care, here's another subject that Monograph channel was talking about. as far as the different colors on the caps for the vaccine, that one may be saline and one may be um, the actual shot, like with the purple cap or the peach cap or whatever. But assuming like maybe one, if it were like the blue cap or anyway, actually had like more of something in it and would make like the children or the adults in this upcoming generations more dependent on the state because of the health issues that they will suffer with that. And I thought to myself, that is so true because of back in the polio days and the swine flu days and what personally happened to me and what happened to other people. And I know that's a fact that they would become dependent on the state, which I wouldn't. But I mean, with my health care, I don't even go to the doctor anymore. I don't trust them. The CDC hid my records and tried to lie about it. They say I can't get a shot, but they won't. I have copies of them. Not that it's gonna prove anything to anybody, you know, but it's just like all my chronic illnesses that I have, and I was tested through the Mayo Clinic. um, um, they don't care, you know. I could be or should be on disability, but I'm not, you know, and I would have to fight to do that. It's like if it wasn't offered to me, I'm not going to ask some creep that gave me the test and knew the results of the test for anything. Well, I got Doug's coming in. I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.